In today's lecture, we will talk about firewalls. Firewall filter traffic on any network. It can be software-based, hardware-based, and cloud-based. To further clarify the concept of firewall, we can say that it is a network-based device which is utilized to monitor incoming and outgoing network traffic. They are like guards or gatekeepers, monitoring every packet coming in or going out of the network. There are several types of firewalls, but in today's lecture, our focus will be on packet filtering firewalls, circuit level gateways, stateful inspection firewalls. So first, we will talk about packet filtering firewalls. They are considered as the most basic and oldest type. They establish checkpoints at routers or switches. They check packets and inspect fields like source and destination IP address, type of packet, port number, and etc. The basic information. If the information in the packet fails, the packet is dropped. Now we will look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of this type. In advantages, we can say that only one router is sufficient for entire network. Number two is this process is fast and efficient. The third advantage is it is transparent. That is, a user will only know when a packet is rejected. Let's move towards the disadvantages of this type of firewall. The information is not based on information, like context of the message. Rather, the filtration only happens by looking at IP address or port number. The second disadvantage is it is vulnerable to IP spoofing. Third disadvantage is that it is stateless, or in other words, it does not remember any past invasions. Second type is circuit level gateways. It is also a very simple firewall designed to accept or reject traffic without consuming much resources. It operates at transport layer of OSI or TCP/IP reference model. It is called circuit level because it focuses on validity of connection between source and destination. If we talk about the advantages and disadvantages, the advantage of this type of firewall is that it acts as a proxy, or in other words, it will hide the internal host from the host that is serving it, which is an advantage. The disadvantage is that these firewalls do not check packet. Once a session is allowed, there are no further checks. In other words, if a packet had a right TCP handshake, it will pass through. And this is a problem or a vulnerability to malware. Now the last firewall which we will discuss here is Stateful Inspection Firewall. They basically combine packet inspection along with TCP handshake. This particular aspect establishes protection which is far better than the earlier mentioned firewalls. Now, stateful inspection firewalls they monitor full state of active network connections. When a type of traffic is approved, it is added to a state table, else it is rejected. Now let's take an example that a client is accessing a web server. This firewall will recognize the response and will associate all the packets transmitted. Also, when we request a server using HTTP, the response usually comes back to our system on a random port. It is this stateful inspection firewall that opens a port automatically for this return connection. When we talk about advantages, it is de facto standard for protection. And the disadvantage include lower data transfer rate. Now your task is to explore further about these firewalls. Best of luck.